Defects. We're doing things a little bit different this week for Defects Discuss. It's time to talk about our top 10 MCU movies. I can't believe we've never done this before, Matt.
Yeah, we were kicking around some ideas for the video this week, and it was just kind of like we've never actually sat down, put it on paper, put our name next to it. We've never discussed it. You know, we've thrown things out there here and there, but Eternals kind of made us realize where does that fall in our top rankings, and what are our top 10. So here we are.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so funny how when we started talking about this, how it kind of panned out. I was taken back a little bit, and we'll discuss mine, but I think we should just jump right into it and bring up Matty Forge's list.
Yeah, let's just jump right into this, guys. In the comments, tell us what you think. Try to keep it respectful. Like this is our list. You know, I have my list. Guy has his list. Unfortunately, Jay wasn't here tonight. Everybody has their own list for different reasons. I mean, just because it's not on my top 10 doesn't mean I still don't like it, don't love it, you know? So, but tell us where you think we could have gone a little different. Tell us what you think we're totally off the wall. I mean, it's just, you know, we're all defects here, we're all family, so it's okay. Just keep it respectful. We're going to try to go back and forth with you in the comments to see where you guys land, all right? So,
and it's so funny. It's so funny. This was not easy, guys. I'll tell you that much.
It was a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah.
All right.
Very surprising, but let's bring up Matty's list.
Here we go. All right, we're just going to throw them all up on the screen at once, and then we're going to talk about it. All right, here we go. All right, I'm just going to read them backwards.
I gotta say wow. That's all. I gotta say wow. And you want me, can I just start at number 10 and we can you're going to talk a little bit about each one, or you want me to say what they are first?
No, I mean just read down for the audio listeners, and then I'll kind of pick apart as I want to go.
So number 10 we have Thor Ragnarok. Coming in at number 9 you have Eternals. Number 8 you have Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 7 Captain America Civil War. Number 6 Avengers. Number 5, Avengers Endgame. Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy. Coming in at number 3, you have Iron Man. Number 2, Avengers Infinity War. And rounding up the list at the top, number 1, you have Captain America, the Winter Soldier. What a top 10 list, Matty Forge.
Yeah. So I'm going to go in chunks and just kind of see where I think that people may have a question. So to me, 1 and 2, it was hard to decide, but I knew those were my top 2, Winter Soldier and Infinity War. So when me and Guy had this discussion, and you'll see later on, I said the only reason I picked Captain America as number 1 is because the Winter Soldier is number 1 is because I said I can watch that movie at any time, no matter what I'm doing. If it's on television, whatever, I could stop what I'm doing, or I just have it in the background always. Infinity War, I feel like you got to be in the mindset to sit down and really watch that thing. So for that reason, even though I loved it, it had to go number 2, and Winter Soldier had to go number 1. Iron Man number 3. I'm sure some people don't have it that high, but to me, that's where this all started. That's where I fell in love with Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Tony Stark.
Amazing.
To me, that sealed it. I mean, it could, on a different day, it could be number 1 for me, to be honest with you, but it's up there. Guardians, I'll let Guy talk about that when he does his, because we both had a similar experience with that. Endgame, why? Some people probably saying, why is Endgame so low? To me, if you grade Infinity War and Endgame as separate, that's why I have Endgame a little lower, because I enjoyed Infinity War much more than I did Endgame, although I absolutely loved Endgame, and I felt it as like a continuation of Infinity War, right? So if I were putting them together and I had to, and like I was grading them as one movie, both of them, it would be number 1.
Yep.
If I put them both together, they're number 1. If they're separate, that's where I have them, 2 and 5. I think the rest of them are not too much issue with people are going to have, but I'll go straight to Eternals. People are probably asking why. Guys, I love character development. I love feeling like I know the characters. I love being invested, and I don't mean spec-wise. I mean like invested emotionally, my attention, my time into characters when I'm watching a movie. I want to feel like I know them as I'm watching that movie. And that's what Eternals did for me, almost better than any movie on this list. Okay. It may not be for everybody. It is not a pure comic book movie that you might be used to, but to me, it was an absolutely great movie. Some people may have to watch it more than once to fully embrace it, and people may never like it. You know, it may never be in your top 10, your top 20. But the more and more people I talk to are telling me that it's in their top half, and a lot of people are saying that it is close to their top 10. So,
who almost made the list?
Yeah, so I think 10, 11, and 12 are all interchangeable. On any day, they could, well, one can fall into the top 10. And so the two that aren't on here, Black Panther and Doctor Strange for me. Though I love Doctor Strange, and Black Panther was just, to me, it was just a powerful movie. But as you can see, not in my top 10. Like I said, those three that I just mentioned, Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther, they could kind of slide in and out. They're all pretty close. So that's my list. Let me know what you think. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me you agree with me. Wait till you see Guy Forge's list. Because me and Guy have extremely similar tastes in movie. We've watched every single one of these movies together for the first time. We watched it together. I want to say almost every single Marvel movie. There may have been one or two that we didn't. Come on.
But you know what? In case you're wondering, Matt's gonna be working on some stuff. But hey, you guys know our sponsors, right? Express Comic Book Pressing Service. So if you want your books pressed, go check out Erod. Give him a call. Give him a shout. Slide in his DMs, and he'll slide your books underneath that press. And you know what?
Wow.
He's very good at what he does. Defects 10 get you 10% off. So I had a tough time, and I put movies on a list. Let me preface this by how I did it. So I wrote movies down, and I just kept writing them. And then I put little boxes next to them, and I started putting numbers. And I'm like, well, this is definitely in the top 5. This is definitely in the top 5. This is definitely in the... And then I started putting more numbers. And then I started... and then I started moving stuff around. And I'm like, but how can this not be in here? And then I broke it down and said, I was literally on one movie. And I'm like, is this better than this movie? Nope. Is this better than this movie? Nope. It's tough. Throw the list up there. Let's see what the defects think.
Here we go.
So you want to read down my list, Matt? I'll let you read down. How about that?
I'll read it off for you. So Avengers, Avengers number 1, he has at number 10. Avengers Endgame, he has at number 9. So lower than I have, which was a little surprising, but not too much because I feel like we're on the same page there. Number 8, Civil War, Captain America, similar to my grade on that. Spider-Man Homecoming, number 7, again similar. Thor Ragnarok, number 6. I knew Guy loved that a little bit more than I did, so a little higher. Captain America, the First Avenger. This is the first book on the top 10 that I didn't have, but I know why Guy put it there, and I expected it there, to be honest with you. Number 4, Iron Man. So again, very close to Matt Forge. Number 3, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. All right, so my number 1, he had at number 3. Guardians of the Galaxy, which I purposely didn't talk about. We'll talk about it here at number 2. And Avengers Infinity War. Not a shocker here as number 1. I love it. Guy Forge, I'll let you go, and then I'll give you my take.
So let's talk about. I'm gonna do like Maddie did, and start with just number 1, and let's explain. This is the epitome of my childhood reading on the big screen. This is why this movie is number 1 and will always be number 1.
Always.
I grew up always, without a doubt. I mean, other movies will follow as good as they are. This movie is my number 1. This is my childhood on screen. I waited 20 something years for this. Like, this is me sitting there, and I used to run to the mailbox. Yeah, I had a mailbox, and I used to run across a lawn to go to the mailbox. Yes, lived in the country. Okay, so I ran to the mailbox to pick up a subscription to Silver Surfer that I had, and Infinity Gauntlet, and watching and reading this stuff, and finally I got to see it on the big screen, and the movie came out on my birthday. Can we get any better than this? So I spent my birthday with my little cousin, right above me over there, watching this movie. Like this is the reason I love this. This is the reason why it's number one, and it'll stay there. Number two, Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't get enough of this fucking movie. I really can't. I will watch it over and over again. The music in this movie is the best music across any Marvel movie ever created, any DC movie ever created, probably any movie ever created. The music in this, the music in this movie just gets you going. It's done so perfect.
It fits perfectly.
I have the record, and I play the record, and my kids dance to it. My kids know all the songs. It's just, for me, this is my family movie that like I can't get rid of. Like, this is just, I love every part of it. I love the acting. I love the jokes. I love the music. Every bit of it. Guardians of the Galaxy. If it wasn't number one, it was number two.
Well, it's funny when we and you watched this. We weren't expecting much from it, and
Nope.
we sat there. We watched it, and when it was over, I turned to Guy and I said, "Was that the best MCU movie?" And he goes, "It actually might be." We were just blown away. Like, I just was not expecting that. And obviously at the time, it would have been Guy's top.
Yep.
It would have been my number 2, I guess. So, yeah, we're both a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. So I expected it to be really high on Guy's list. So,
Yep.
yeah, jump around. Go to number 5, because we know the other ones why you pick. I mean, unless you want to stop.
Yeah.
You know.
No. I'm
Yeah.
on board with you, Captain America: Winter Soldier. I love that movie. Iron Man. We know what it means to us as far as Marvel and what it did for Robert Downey. I connect with it more because I think it turned Robert Downey around as a person, and I love that. And I think giving him a shot to do that was amazing, and I like how he turned his whole life around. That's for me. I like that part.
Born for the role.
Yep. Captain America: First Avenger. Come on, guys. Come on. I can watch this movie. It doesn't matter. I don't care where it is in the movie. I will literally start it over and watch it. Like, that's what I do. I don't even watch it from where it is. I press rewind, I press replay, whatever you want to call it, and I start it over because I love this movie. I will watch it over and over again. Steve Rogers punches Hitler how many times? This is the greatest fucking thing in the world. Like,
Yeah,
how don't we love this?
I mean, you know what? It wasn't in my top 10, but I'll be honest. I like it the more I watch it, right? With the first time I watched it, I really didn't like it too much, but like the second, third, and then now I'm on board. Like, it's in my top 15. I mean, it is a solid movie, and I know a lot of people that have it much lower, but I think it gets a bad rap. So I like the choice.
Yeah. Jumping into number 6, Thor Ragnarok. I'm a huge fan of Thor Ragnarok. When Thor and the Hulk fight, I think is the greatest scene ever.
Awesome.
Like, it's so dope. I know him from work. Like, when Loki's up there and he's just like, his face just drops and he's like everything about that. Jeff Goldblum, that's our introduction to him in the movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all parts of this movie are just fun. This is a fun movie. I loved every bit of it. Spider-Man goes without saying. I mean, who doesn't connect? It's my son's favorite character. One of my favorite characters growing up. I love Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland is doing a great job with it. Big fan. Civil War, we can talk about for days. Obviously, the culmination of everybody together across from each other. Everyone loves that battle scene. I think that's all in our heads of how cool that is. Endgame. I finish off my list with Endgame and regular, Avengers number 1. Again, I'm with you, Matt, in saying that if Endgame and Infinity War were the same movie, that would be number 1. Like, it is my number 1, but that together, like, if they probably had enough time to keep it on screen that long and keep people in the movie theater that long, it would have been one movie. But obviously they split it up. That's what they did. Endgame has to be on the top 10, and then Avengers is really just your... that's when we got the camera angle turning around and seeing everybody ready to fight and everything like that. And Hulk looking at everybody and saying, that's my secret. I'm always angry. Like, that's one of my favorite lines ever.
Great line. So, yeah.
We'll agree that Black Panther is right on the edge, and it was one of the runners up. Okay, I love Black Panther. It was a great, great movie. Eternals. I had it at 7. Okay, and then I talked. I'm going to throw this out there because I had it at 7, and then I asked Maddie, because I didn't know if we were including Spider-Man in the list because of Sony and because of whatever, and he was. So I said, well, that just messes up my whole list. So now I have to redo stuff and kind of look at it and see what I did because my list was done and I had Eternals at 7, and slowly I brought Eternals back in, and then Spider-Man ended up with 7, and then I kind of was trying to place it. So it just bumped itself out, like right on the edge. But I mean, listen, great movie. I loved it. And me and Matt talked about it. At first glance, I was like, yeah, this is like number 6. Like this is right out of the top 5. And then slowly, like I said, as I started breaking down more movies and coming up with the list, it bumped itself. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think that happened. I think that's going to happen to a lot of people. So, I think we want to see what you guys have to say. Maybe we'll get Joe's on. Joe, who the hell is Joe?
Who's
Maybe we'll
Joe?
get Jay's on a live show. And I want to see other members of the community do this. So I'm going to call out Erod because I was just talking to him.
Ooh.
Erod, I want you to do this list, put it on your channel. And I want to see Very Gary do one of these on his channel because I'm curious. I definitely am curious to see his, and I'm sure people would want to see that as well. So, Guy, anything else before we wrap this up? This was a lot of fun.
No, it was a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what people say. This is the fun part about this because again, we all have different opinions, and that's what's cool about it. And I can't wait to see what Erod and did you say Very Gary?
I did.
Huh, I can't wait to see what he has to say too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching, boys and girls. Catch you on the next Defects Discuss.